Hello. Good to see you.
Okie dokie, Revenants. It's good to be back. Today we're going to be analyzing the Skull King, as he is the the second to last boss in the game. And what we're going to be going through here is all of his setups and everything. He's a very lengthy boss. He has 5 phases. He has a massive amount of HP. He has a huge amount of resistances, and he also doesn't really have any weaknesses at all. He's immune to the status effects that you have in the game, and he's also very, very difficult to read on his 4-hit combo, which can be a 4-hit, a 3-hit, a 2-hit, or a 1-hit, and you never know which one it could be because they all start with the same 1-hit combo. So if he does that 1-hit combo, then it could turn into a 2-hit or a 3-hit or a 4-hit, and you just don't know what kind of options he's going to opt for. He does have several blockable attacks, but he does have a few unblockables. So we'll go over everything here. So it's good to be back, and thank you to everyone for sticking with me. I'm gonna put out another. Um, Maybe it's already out, but I'm gonna put out another video about just thank you to everyone. So we'll get into the Skull King here. So he does have 5 phases, as I said, and we'll go ahead and see what the first phase looks like here, and we'll look at Crush. And this blade is a crush blade. Remember, we'll look at crush and slash here. And we have 862, and we have um, 930. So we'll pull out the numbers here as we go. And his phases affect all of his resistances and everything. So you got to pay attention to what phase you're in. So here we'll go for an attack 753. And 753 is, let's do that now. So 753 divided by 930, and since that was the first basic attack, it's got a 90% multiplier. So he has a 10% resistance to crush in phase 1, and if we work out 862 times 0.9 times 0.9, because we know that he has a 10% resistance to all damage types on the first phase here. And let's find the Libertador. There we go. Oh, and I should probably set the control so we can pause. There we go. Okay, and now if we look here, we should be expecting a 698 or so. And there it is. So 10% indeed. And let's switch and go for the charge shot here. Oops, wrong shot. There we go, 815. So this bayonet on what we have right now does a 905 on a charge, and so he has a 10% overall resistance in phase 1. This is phase 1 as soon as you run in. Now, the phases of damage go 10, 10, 20, 20, 30. So he has 10% resistance in phase 1. He has a 10% resistance in phase 2, and he has a 10% and he has a 20% resistance in phase 3. He has a 20% resistance in phase 4, and he has a 30% resistance in phase 5. Now, if you'll notice here, we'll go back to the Argent Wolf Blade here. And if we go for blood damage, you will notice a dramatic decrease in our damage, 376. So how we do that is we go 930 times 0.9 times 0.9 times 1 plus 0.2 minus x equals 376, I think it was. Okay, and then we solve that, and you get a 70% resistance on blood in phase 1. And the nice thing about his elemental resistances is that they stay the same all the way until phase 5. So if you're going for elements, do not go for blood, because what you will end up with is not a whole lot of damage overall. So you can go for the other elements until phase 4 if you are paired up with a chrome on your blade. So if you're going for a fire chrome and you have fire weapon as well, or flame weapon gift, then you can uh, do both of those to actually get extra damage on him. But if you're going for 1 damage up, like just flame weapon, you will reduce your damage by 20%. So all of his ice, fire, and lightning are 20% reductions in damage until phase 5, which then he gets into 40% resistance on his elements. So it's very, 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 very bad to do any elements in phase 5. Now he does have at those 5 transition points. It's 4 transition points, 5 phases. So the first phase is about 12.5% of damage, and then the second phase transition is at about 37.5%, the or about 30% or so, and then the third phase is at 50%, and the fourth phase is about 12.5%. So you got to get the fourth phase is the hardest to get through because he has the most damage. And the most craziness and the longest reach, and he's got a whole bunch of wacky stuff that he does. So let's go ahead and see if we can get that first phase transition, and you can see where those transition points are. Let's see if we can do it. So remember, 12.5, 37.5, 50, and 12.5. So here we go. We'll start chunking away here. Because we have a crush blade, whoops, we should be able to do some staggers along the way here. And that jump attack right there is an unblockable. You cannot block it. And that dash attack is the start of one of his 4-hit combo strings. Okay, so we're coming up on 12.5% here. Oh, sorry, it's 15%. So right about here, he should begin to transition in one more hit. Okay, right there. So yeah, 15%. Sorry, I got my tick marks off. There's 15%. And we'll cut him down here. And he then transitions to a 2-hit combo. Okay, we got him into stagger state. Now you can afford 2 of these stagger states every fight with him. You can't get more than 2. Okay. Here's the 3-hit combo. Ouch. Okay. So there we got about 26% or so, and we had just a little bit more to go at about the 30% mark, and or about 30% mark. He gets into his next transition phase. So let's see if we can try for that again. Now, obviously, this is a little bit easier if you go with partners and everything, but don't be deceived, because sometimes it can be a lot more difficult with more people on the field, because if they use gifts, it can blind you, and you can't see what kind of attack pattern he's going for, and you can lose it. And it can be very difficult. There's 3. Okay. So you can see there that, ouch, he definitely went a little crazy there with his 3-hit combo. Okay. Oh, he's going to do that. There's 3. Okay, we'll go ahead and heal. He's going to charge. Now that's an unblockable as well. And that's a full 360 swipe there, I guess. And it's an unblockable, so no chance in blocking that. I can block those. I can block all these attacks. Okay. And I can block all these as well. Cannot block that one. We missed each other. Okay. And we'll get right here to the 15% mark. Good. And he transitions basically as a good boy would. And you'll see here that we're still doing our 753, which is our 10% reduction. So he's still in that 10% reduction phase, so it's no big deal. And we're gonna die. Nope. There's a 3-hit combo. Okay, heal. Ouch. Come on.
Looks like this is it.
Yeah, this is not. This fight is pretty difficult for me if we're going for the longevity of it, to just basically try and get him to act on point, sit uncomfortably in a chair, and everything. But if he operates here with a little bit of assistance, then we can get him to show you the transition points. Now, I'll probably bring in like EO or somebody, but you definitely don't want to be doing a whole lot of gifting as much as possible later on, because of his huge amount of resistances that he starts to build up over time. And so your best bet is to go for a lot of physical attacks if you can. Okay, I was out of stamina there. Okay. And this guy is literally a patient fight. There's no really rushing it, and he's gonna transition right there, or not, and he'll transition. Come on. Okay, he needs a little bit more. There. Now he'll transition. Okay, we'll go for a guard booster just so we can block everything. And we can block everything except for that jump attack, so you definitely don't want to be caught. Oh, and that has an AoE on it, fortunately. Okay, we gotta back up here. And he's got incredible range. Okay, so let's bring in a partner just so we can get to those transition points. Now, it's in your best interest to, like I said, if you're trying to go for, let's see, we'll go for EO. If you're going for gifting, go for something that you can stack multiple levels of elemental damage or massive amounts of physical damage. And if you can somehow get away with Merciless Reaper going into your gifting, then that will benefit you even that much more, just because of the fact that you can gift easily and effectively, while at the same time being able to have that armor ignore for about 7.5% on phase 1, and Merciless Reaper just gets more and more beneficial as time goes on. Ouch. Just want to get through these transition points here. Okay, and EO has a massive amount of stun on him and stagger because she has the Damarung. The Damarung has massive amounts of stagger ability with the charge attack and with the 2-hit combo that it has built in. It's a great weapon, but it makes you very slow. And you can see there that EO is just staggering him all over the place. Now we should probably have a restorative offering or something to help get EO back. Okay, so now he's into transition state. So we will back off here, get this, and now he will transition because he's at about the 30% mark. Okay, now we got about another 15% or so to go to phase 4, which is the very difficult phase because he gains a whole bunch of nonsense. Okay, let's go ahead and heal. Now EO's using Ablative Blood, so she has huge amounts of damage reduction. And you can see now that we're doing 670. So we lost another 10% of our damage. If you remember, we were doing like 753. Now we're doing about 670. So very bad that his damage reduction continues to get us much farther down the rabbit hole here. Okay. So now we are into phase 4. Now this is the very difficult phase because he has those blood trails that you see there, and those blood trails stagger. Regardless, and they have a completely separate hitbox than the actual weapon attack itself. So if you get stuck in the in that blood trail, you will get staggered, and his weapon attack, as you saw there with Io, will come down and destroy you. So it is very, 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 very bad. Okay. Okay, thank you for the stagger there, Io. And as you see there, Io's staggering him again. So it's in your best interest to dodge towards him in phase 4, because of the fact that, and we both died together. So it's in your best interest to dodge toward him in phase 4, because if you dodge backwards, you will fall into that blood trail, you will stagger, and then his sword will come down and basically chop your head off. So those blood trails there, as you can see here, I've been in here a little bit, playing around with him. But those blood trails are the most devastating thing. You wouldn't think they would be, because they don't do almost any damage to him. But overall, they are the most devastating thing that he has against you, because of that close range requirement that he starts to keep you at. Now, you can dodge far away and then dodge into him, or you can stay close and conserve your stamina at all costs with things like Valiant Heart and Guard Stability, to make sure that you reduce those stamina portions. Now you can also go for morale boost, if I can find it, on something like the Hades Blood Code or different things, and you can get some extra stamina. This gives you 50 stamina, so that's a real issue in this fight, is your stamina management. So let's go and look at the page here. So you can see that if just from what you saw there, we were doing 10% damage in the first phase and second phase, 20% in the second or third and fourth phase, and then in the fifth phase, which it's hard to get there to show it off, but in that fifth phase, he does gain a 30% reduction to all damage types. For blood, it's the unique one. He has a 70% all the way to phase 5. In phase 5, he gets more reduction of 90%. So very, very bad to use blood. In phase 1 through 4, for ice, lightning, and fire, they all share the same they all share the same resistance, and so it's 20%. So this is the same amount as like a flame weapon up or something like that. So that's why I say you have to use a chrome with flame weapon. Now this is where two weapons in particular come to mind: the blazing claw and the burning disaster, as they have very, very high fire damage already on them. So you could use those with a flame weapon, with a chrome, and you could be doing some really, really good damage, and you could even out damage his phase 5 fire resistance. So you could do that with the ice blood as well, as that has a 20% ice on it. You could do the ice blood, you could do the blazing claw, you could do the bloody snow. You could do a couple of different things that are element varieties, but definitely do not use the warp blade on him, as you will basically be doing almost no damage. So if you look here, he's immune to all status effects. You cannot poison him, stun him, slow him, inhibit him, anything. He is an all-out war on you. At max difficulty, he has about 152,500 HP, so that's why you can't one-shot this fella. Also because of his crazy resistances, and he has to be able to transition through all of his phases if you do more than one phase of damage. So if you do, I guess I should put it here, 15% HP. Where's my P? There we go. 15% HP. This is around 30% HP or so. The P doesn't work on my keyboard too well. This is at 50% HP for the phase transition. This is at around, let's see, 85. This is around 85%. Between 85 and 90% HP is where that last transition happens. And then this is the last, phase 5 is the last 15% of his life. So that's where the transitions happen. So 4 transitions, 5 phases, and then this is where everything happens. So the reason he's such a difficult boss on Fate on 0 star at minimum difficulty is because he has over 70,000 HP, 72,000, roughly between 200 and 500, 72,000, call it 400 or so, somewhere around there. Because you can't get an exact number unless you data mine, which I can't data mine. So this is all based on just what I've calculated. So it's around 72,200 or so, and that's a huge amount of damage to do on 0 star. But if you are, leveling above him, then this becomes a trivial fight because your damage is so high. But if you are a level 1 character, then this fight is insanely hard. It's harder than at max difficulty, with even with more than double the HP, because your damage is so small at level 1. Now, if we take an example here, a blood example, a blood damage from phase 5. So if we were using the Argent Wolf Blade, and that was 930, remember? And on the first swipe, it does 90% of the card value. Then we would have the 70% modifier from the 30% resistance here that we have. And then if we apply Blood Weapon, then we would add 20% to our weapon, but then we would subtract 90% from phase 5 damage, and we would be left with 175.77 damage, which would round up obviously to 176. And if we look at what that actually is, it's a 81.1% overall damage reduction from the card value. So this is why in phase 5 you do not want to be doing anything with blood, and you don't want to really be doing anything like that, any blood damage, basically anywhere through the entire fight, just because it's uh, so much damage reduction that you're basically not even damaging him at all. So if you were doing a blood run, and you had to do blood damage, then it would be the worst thing possible for you. So this has been the skulking, and how some of his attacks and everything, and the damage modifiers and how they operate, and the phase transitions. Let's see his status effects. Yeah, so this is basically everything here, and you can try a lot more on your own. Now, what I would advise is the best thing to go for on him is to be quick mobility. If I have a, I can't be quick. Okay. Let's go for this then, and let's go for something like, I guess we can just grab up the pipe here real quick. Sure. And can I? Okay, we'll just do this. The best thing to do is go for quick mobility, because the iframes on the quick dodge are very, very good. And you can see there that you can dodge through all of his attacks with relative ease, and you have very, very generous openings and very, very generous dodge windows. And that is the best. I mean, for most things, obviously it's like, well, yeah, you should be quick mobility and this and that, but for him, it's even better, because of just the sheer amount of iframes that you have available to you, and it's really, really, really worth it if you can get to quick mobility in all kinds. Okay. And you can see there that we probably should have been hit by that attack, but we were able to get out of it. And again, you don't know when he does that overhead attack if he's going to do a 3-hit combo, a 4-hit combo, 5-hit combo, something like that. Now, because we're doing lots of crush damage, we're able to stagger him. And there's the 4-hit combo. And you can see there the amount of dodge distance that we had there, and it didn't matter. We were able to dodge out of it very, very easily because of quick mobility, and we're able to there you can even see a huge amount of generous framing time that we have. So that's why it's in your best interest to go for quick mobility where possible. Oops, I'm not even hitting him. Okay. Okay, and that's why if you go for something like slow mobility, it's almost impossible to make these dodges, just because of the fact that there's so much uh, there's so much less frame time for you to be dodging, that it's really in your best interest to always go for quick mobility in this fight, because his swords are so big, so long. So there we go, at the 30% mark. He's going to transition. Okay. Figured he would kill Io there. And you can see here just the generous amount of dodge windows that we have available to us is very, very, very nice. The reason we're doing so many staggers on him is because the pipe is crush damage, and we're able to constantly stagger with crush damage over and over. And you can see there's another stagger. And you can just dodge basically infinitely with quick mobility here. And you are given generous, along with the generous frame timings, you're also given, since the dodge counts from such a much greater distance, your focus gauge can fill up much easier, because you're always basically in the dodge window. So having quick mobility is really in your best interest. So there we got a second stagger. Very good. Okay. So I guess if we kept on going like this, we could go for a third. We could go for a third stagger possibly. And there we got pretty lucky with a focus. Okay, let's pick up Io. Oh, and she's gone. So now it's over. And you can see there the amount of staggers. Oh. Okay. And you can see that it's not going. Oh, I looked at my keyboard for a second. But anyways, definitely go for quick mobility, just because of the fact of how long his swords are, the area damage that they do, and everything. It's really in your best interest to go for quick mobility. Anyways, it's good to be back, and hopefully you all enjoyed the analysis here of the Skull King, and you know kind of now a little bit of what you should be going for. So doesn't matter, crush, slash, or pierce, go for it all. Doesn't matter. Just don't go for blood. So things like Radiant Barrel or Fusillade Rondo are a complete no, and they're out of the question. So sorry about that. But anyways, hope you all enjoyed that, and we'll see you in the next one.